Welcome back. We just want to bring you up to date again with what is going on in Brussels. The Eurogroup meeting is over. This was a meeting of senior European leaders, including heads of government and finance ministers. Alexander Stubb is finance minister of Finland. He has said that we agreed to continue as that meeting ends. So he said that the two sides have agreed to continue their negotiations. This, of course, the context is that Greece has brought forward a proposal, we understand, that includes some movement on pensions and taxes in Greece. And the ECB's Mario Draghi, the president of the ECB, left that meeting without commenting to reporters. Alan Small, of course, is senior investment advisor of Alan Small Financial Group at Hollis Wealth. He's also been my guest co-host for the full show. You've got a list of 5 things that investors tend to get wrong.
Yeah, and so it's interesting because obviously it depends on the type of investor, whether you're a retiree or whether you're, I guess, new to the investment world. But overall, you know, I still see the same old, you know, investors trying to time the market, investors, you know, chasing that hot name. Those things tend to, I guess, been around for many years, unfortunately, mistakes that investors make. But some of the ones I'm seeing more with retirees these days, a lot of retirees are still sticking with what has worked in the past. We talked about earlier in the show about Canada savings bonds, bonds in general. These are paying such low interest rates. A lot of retirees still believe, you know, well, at least I'm making something rather than nothing, that mentality. But we're seeing that, you know, obviously this doesn't cut it today. And I think a lot of these types of investors are not making enough to keep up with the standard of living. A lot of these real rates of returns are actually negative on some of these investments. So we're seeing a lot of that. A lot of retirees also are thinking that, you know, there's not enough time for them to get into the equity market, that they're a little older now and they don't have time to make up a loss if one should happen. Retirees have to understand that average life expectancy now is in the early 80s. Right. And you could be retired for 20 some odd years. And so I believe there is a longer term approach that you can take to investing even as you go head into retirement. And so owning shares of good quality conservative growth names that pay a dividend can make a big difference in your portfolio. And so these are some of the mistakes I'm seeing or I'm hearing from investors. And you know, hopefully they can, I guess, loosen up a little bit when it comes to the stock market, especially this group of individuals that have.
Their concern obviously is, you know, if we're being told to have, let's say, a 70% equity weighting, we may get hurt if there's a significant correction during the remainder of our retirement.
Absolutely, and that's why I think the key for everything in life is balance, whether you have a balanced diet or a balanced portfolio. And I think what investors don't realize is there are risks out there, even to low-risk investments. Obviously, it's interest rate risk. When you're owning bonds, obviously interest rates start to rise, as we are seeing right now. Price of your bond starts to fall, and so you're finding a lot of retirees, their portfolios could be down in a given month, and they're not used to seeing that. So I think to hedge your bets against all types of risk, market risk, interest rate risk, currency risk, I think you need a good mix of investments, even in retirement, and I think that would fare well for any investor out there.
And you mentioned owning good conservative names. What about fund-style exposure for retirees, people in that?
Mutual funds?
Mutual funds or ETFs?
Or ETFs. I think they work. I know the gentleman that was just here, ETF strategy for investments outside of North America, I think that works well. Overall, I think right now the market is you know, very choppy and unfortunately not really going anywhere. And to own index-linked types of investments, ETFs that follow the S&P or the TSX, you're not making a whole lot right now. I think, you know, bottom-up investors, I think right now are the way to go. And there are a lot of good names within the indices, but owning the indice as a whole is a little bit difficult right now.
Okay, Alan, thank you a great deal for being here today. We appreciate it.